Yeah. Thank you. Two of each. Two of each.
All right, everyone, we'll call the city commission meeting to order at 7 p.m. October 21st, 2024. We're a little light on the board tonight, but we do have enough for a quorum. If we get in a pinch, we can call Jess, she'll help us out, but I think we'll be all right. Let's start with our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic of the nation, this world, justice for all. Start off with our minutes for the commission meeting dated October 7th, 2024. I trust you guys have had a chance to look them over. They're all right. Don't want to change anything. We'll need a motion to approve as written. I will move to approve the commission minutes. I'll second that. Okay, we have a motion and a second for the commission meeting minutes as written. We'll move to a vote. Yes. Yes. Okay, that motion carries.
Can I ask a question? Are they available online? Because I keep trying to find them and I can't find them under the city committee. Any of the minutes.
There's a lag, and we're a little shorthanded right now, so it's kind of a work in progress. I think Jaden's gonna have a couple small updates regarding that, but trust me, we're working on trying to get that dialed in.
Read a couple of passwords and then-
I think printing and leaving the unapproved minutes on the front before the meetings, I think that kind of died off after one night. Would you like us to try starting that back up again? Okay. You guys cool with that? We can start that back up? Okay.
I'm the only one who really like them. You know, some of my, for someone, figured before, that's possible.
Okay. Usually get them like the Friday night before the next meeting, so I'll pick them over to you, not a problem. All right, commissioners report.
I've been on the hunt for, looking for some third-party help like we discussed at the last meeting. I've reached out to a few different places. I've gotten turned down and I'm still awaiting some calls from some others. So it is a work in progress, but we're not there yet. So.
For my department, I have no updates on this. Okay. Modification or approval of the agenda. How do you guys feel? Like it the way it is? We will need a motion to approve the agenda. Okay. We got a real short agenda. If we can hash through this real quick, we're gonna leave the tail end just for open comment, questions, concerns, things like that. So if we can get through this first part real quick, yeah, you absolutely can come up. I'm just not gonna schedule you.
I will move to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second that. And we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as written. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Old business number 1.
Well, I think for the first time in modern history at least, I don't really have any substantial updates and I hate to be the guy that approved a very short agenda. So, if I'm needed later in the meeting, I'll be happy to participate, but I don't have anything to share this evening.
Thank you. All right, Josh, you're up.
We're here today.
Zero to speed.
Yes, we should be fairly brief tonight, basically just, 3, contracted applications for payment, here. So we'll start off with the Tioga Dam recreational trail project. Quick construction update. They did, finish paving, the majority of it today. They have a little section, on the east side over by the boat ramp. That'll be paved either tomorrow or Wednesday. It's kind of tentatively what they're planning at this point, but should see paving on that project complete here soon, and then they'll have some topsoil restoration, dirt work fencing, other miscellaneous items that go out. To complete on that here yet, but, majority of things should be winding down out there, soon, so. With that, I do have, contractor's application for payment number 1. That is in the amount of $151,795.80. One thing I will note, on that is we, previously indicated they are beyond their substantial completion date on that project, so that the substantial completion date was October 1st. The project is, technically within, in liquidated damages at this point. That contractor's application for payment was through October 4th. So if the city were to, choose to assess liquidated damages, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th would be days that could be assessed on that at this point. So, that's $1,000 a day, that could be withheld from that payment. Choose so.
Like, I think we gotta hold these contractors accountable, and we have to. So what would you need then, just to table the payout 1 for today, or just reduce the?
No, exactly, yep, we would approve it, at a lesser amount, from what they, like $3,000, so.
Okay, so
That's the amount would be,
148.
148,795.
well, that's up to you guys, that's just my opinion on withholding, but
What did you say the amount was?
The amount, requested is 151,000.
No, the amount after the,
After would be $48,795.80.
$795.80.
Yep.
what do you think, Stephen, are you okay with?
Yeah, I'm completely okay with that. Like you said, we need to start holding them more reliable. Yeah, I'm good.
How do you pronounce their name? Bechtold?
Bechtold paving.
Bechtold, Sue, you need a motion to approve the payout in that dollar figure.
Yes.
Amended.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended amount of $148,795.88.
80 cents.
80 cents to Bechtel paving.
I'll second that.
All right, short version. You have a motion and a second to approve the modified payout to Bechtold paving. Any questions? Move to a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries.
Next item is the 3rd Street Northwest and North Hanson Street reconstruction project. That project, is completed. Just requesting the release of, retainage on that project. The value of that contractor's application for payment is $153,973.68. For that item.
That's the final payout, number 6.
I'll make a motion to approve the payout for Crow River for $153,973.68.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the final payout number 6 to Crow River. We'll move to a vote,
Yes.
Yes.
and that motion also carries.
Okay, and the last item I have is the North Main Street reconstruction project. Again, contractor's application for payment on that project. This is the 4th one. The value of that is $43,981.31. Recommend approval of that item.
I'll move to approve the pay app for Crow River for $43,981.31.
I'll second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second to approve pay app number 4 to Crow River, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
That motion carries.
That is all I have this evening. The only other item, was last meeting, we had talked a little bit about, potential projects for next year and how the city may want to go about deciding on that. Do you want to set up a meeting with a couple commissioners and city staff to kind of initially discuss that, or how would you guys like to kind of begin that discussion?
I actually kind of like to set up like a community event, put together a special meeting just to get some community input. Like I said, we can throw ideas of darts at a wall with sticky notes on ideas we think are good and not. And
Yeah.
it's not up to us, it's up to them. I would like them to kind of dictate what they think we need and
Yep.
we'll just kind of try to punch it through the goal line if it means that. But
Okay.
I also know right now, we're kind of in a strengthening our balance sheet mode and paying off debts before we jump into new
Yep.
ones, so. Again, I would like to put something together for the community to get their input.
Okay. Yeah, we can chat on how we want to go about that.
I know Haley's got a very, very busy month at the community center, but maybe next month or the month after, it's gonna get cold, it's warm inside the community center, so we'll put something together.
Perfect. That is all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, old business number 3, community center update, FCI and Burton.
I'll give the update first. Yeah. So complete this month, we got the east parking lot paved. Building foundations are complete. Structural steel is approximately 45%. And then we have, on-site utilities are 100% complete. That includes stormwater, the electrical and gas service. During next reporting period, we will be finishing steel erection. We'll be exposing the exterior of the building with the panel. And we'll be progressing with interior work, which will be slab on grade. We have water, underground work already done. We're just waiting to enclose the building before we pour the slab. Questions on schedule?
And here for you to approve the pay application number 3 for FCI of the amount of $659,453.40. This is for the period of September 1 through September 30.
You tell me the amount one more time, please. Sure.
659,453.40.
Make a motion to approve pay app number 3 of $659,453.40 to FCI.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve pay app number 3 in the amount of $659,453.40. Is there any discussion on that? No, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
And that motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sirs.
All right, old business number 4, that's Haley with the community center.
Center Director. So I'm going to be seeking approval for 3 different items tonight. Each of these items will enhance safety, efficiency, and cost effectiveness, making them essential considerations for the facility's growth and ongoing operations. The first item, we are planning to add speakers and sound system equipment to key areas of the addition. After reviewing the new spaces with Randy McGinnity, we've identified the new gym, turf area, and what corridor are priorities for speakers, microphones, and projectors. And we also watching these and if you guys have any technical questions after this. The cost for these areas is $55,626. Additionally, we considered adding audio and video to the conference room and one of the multi-purpose rooms with the benefit centers. However, since these items are not essential at this time, they can wait, but delaying these will result in additional travel fees. So the cost of adding both of these areas to be completed at the same time as the primary issue or areas would add an additional $14,006, bringing the overall total to $69,632. I'm seeking a motion for approval of the addition.
And this is all in.
How much was the second item?
The two smaller rooms? $14,006. 626. Yep, 69,632.
Okay, so there's background on this. I mean, this is kind of old news. We all heard about it, I mean, back early summer. We actually tried to get quotes from other outfits as well, just to kind of get the competitive spirit going and see who could do the best for what they got. We couldn't get anybody to quote us. My concern was maybe location towards Tioga. If something was to fail, how quickly could we get that person here? We tried to target local businesses, but again, we fell on our face. This is what we've got. I think it's a good deal, especially since we kind of put this guy on ice for a very long time now, and he's still here willing to work for us.
An original Tioga resident also.
Yes, he is, Randy. He's on right now if you have any questions for him.
I don't think I do.
Even, you think even the additional would be a wise move at this point?
I think the full up near $70,000 is great because I think originally it was like well into the six figures, wasn't it?
We're guesstimating under 150,000. That was before we reconfigured what we need and what we don't need. That type of thing.
Yes, correct.
Okay, well, I will move to approve the speakers for $69,632.
I'll second that. All right, with the motion and a second to approve the speaker system, I guess expansion in the amount of $69,632, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that motion carries.
Second item. So with adding roughly 30,000 square feet, safety remains our top priority as well. And after meeting with MCC to assess coverage, we plan to add 28 new cameras on top of the 20 that we already have in place in the existing facility. For comparison in size, the school and Tioga Medical Center both have around 50 cameras as well. Benefits of adding these cameras include enhanced security coverage, theft and vandalism prevention, improved employee and visitor safety, faster incident response, and better insurance and liability protection. The total cost for the new cameras, including installation, is $19,438.54 with no ongoing monthly fees. I'm seeking a motion to approve cameras for the expansion.
What do you think, guys? Feels like you're just gonna spend money on.
Yeah.
I had to ask all at once, didn't I?
Yeah, well, I don't know, I mean, improved security and better liability, I mean, really, I think that is a plus. for sure. We wouldn't want part of the building to have cameras and not the whole thing, I guess, so. I will move to approve of the updating the camera system, for the dollar amount of $19,438.54.
I'll second that.
All right, with a motion and a second to approve the surveillance upgrade estimate in the amount of $19,438.54, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
And that motion carries.
And the last item, I have to ask for more, I'm so sorry. So since our previous maintenance man, Wilmer Roloff, is no longer with us, Jason and his team have stepped in to assist with several maintenance tasks, time willing. But HVAC maintenance is a critical area that requires specialized knowledge, and we've had frequent issues with the heating, cooling, and boilers leading to multiple service calls. Johnson Controls has proposed an annual maintenance contract to provide preventative care, improve system efficiency, prolong equipment lifespan, and reduce repair costs. So this contract will ensure compliance and safety while minimizing unexpected breakdowns as well. The cost for this annual contract is $10,600. And I believe you guys got a packet up there. Between pages 12 and 15, it shows all of the comprehensive checks that they would do, the cleaning and all that. I believe the travel fees are all included with the contract for this.
This might be a dumb question, and maybe I missed it in the material, but maybe not. Is that just preventative maintenance, or have the issues with HVAC and heat actually been assessed and evaluated? What's the?
They have been assessed and evaluated. This isn't something they currently do for us, so I feel like having this in place for them to come out at least once a year to make sure everything's running properly, belts need to be changed, everything's functioning at full capacity, I think it would be wise to consider. If they did do it once a year, it would either be in the spring or the fall, so if you wanted to table this one for now and we could come back to it in the spring, I think that would be okay as well. But totally up to you. And once we expand, we're only gonna have more boilers at that point, and more air units, so I think the price is probably gonna go up at some point if we did hire them on.
Might be best just to wait then, probably.
Yeah, that would be okay. But at least it's on your radar now to get your wheels spinning.
How long is the bid now?
I think it's till the end of the year.
I think I'm good with day one for now. What do you guys think?
It's good to talk about because I think this kind of identifies, we were probably a little bit light on our budgeting, the OpEx for an extra 30,000 square foot, I would say egregiously. I think the plan was, it was gonna cost an extra 30 grand a year. It's 10,600 out of that 30 grand on PM type work, so it shouldn't surprise anybody that we missed the boat big time on that. But the sooner we start identifying all those things, we can start putting together an accurate budget year over year. Want to just wait? Want to run with it now? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, new business number 5 is the reappointment for R&T board. So I can pull that up. All right, so we got a letter from R&T saying that Jeff Mulberg needs to be reappointed to the R&T board, and this would be for a 2.
Then I move to approve the reappointment of Jeff Mover to the RT board for a 2-year term.
Full second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the reappointment of Jeff Mulver to the R&T board for 2 years. We'll move to a vote,
Yes.
Yes.
and that motion carries. Number 6 on new business is raise and promotion recommendation for Shani Ramsey. All right, without getting into too much detail, she made it past her 3-month probation period. Current position and suggested position are the same, so this would just be, I guess, a pay increase. You guys see that in front of you, would be moving from 1940 to 20 an hour. And I'll vouch for this 100%. She's just an absolute delight to see when you walk in the room. She is always busy, and she is a worker through and through.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, with everything that I've seen when I've stopped in, so, are you looking for a motion for the performance appraisal?
Yep, a motion to approve the raise and promotion.
I'll make a motion to approve their raise for Chanel Ramsey.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to approve the raise and promotion for Shani Ramsey. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. All right, last, we got the consent approval. Number 7 is a local charity permit for the Tioga Storm Wrestling. 8 is a local charity permit for the Tioga Historical Society. 9, 10, and 11 are special liquor licenses for FTT doing business as a model tavern. 12 is the pledge holdings for the Bank of Tioga as of 9/25/24. And 13 is the financial number 2024. So we'll need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. We'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We are done in lightning time, so we are wide open for you guys. You have questions, comments? Go ahead.
I'm Bob Anderson. So I guess in 21, we had come to the previous commissioners and we started talking about the payoff of the existing community center. And in the fall of 22, they actually voted on setting $1 million aside to pay down in September of 23 plus the interest. I know you, Jane, you said you were getting checked into what happened to that $1 million.
It is in the same exact place.
So when so in 23, when they were supposed to pay for it, now it's 24, it's another year later with more interest and all that occurring. I'm asking the board, let's just pay this off. Let's pay the existing community center off and start getting rid of some of our debt and freeing up that Tioga fund. That's $204,000 we'll save on that Tioga fund to use on other projects within the city. So I'm just asking if the city has the money, which I think they do. I'm asking you, let's finally start paying down some of our debt.
Would it be okay with you if we put it on the agenda for next meeting? And the only reason I say that is I have no idea what we owe left on it.
I think it's probably like 2.7 or something like that, probably. I'm guessing it'd be real close. 2.7.
I know it's somewhere in that range, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm not 100% certain what account that money would come from. There's a whole lot I'm not 100% certain on. I agree 100%. If we have the money, get rid of the interest payments, let's move on. We've got an expansion to pay for right now. We shouldn't be
Right.
worrying about the existing one. But I don't know all the details on that. I'm
Because the
going-
only reason I say that is everybody keeps coming here wanting money for this and wanting money for that. And we're not getting rid of some of our debt, so I'm okay with waiting to the next meeting. But, you know, I'd really seriously at least consider, at least that $1 million plus the interest should be paid down. That was voted on and it was never rescinded on. So I don't know why that payment wasn't made to the bank. I have no idea, so I can't tell you that, but that was the previous board. You guys had nothing to do with it, so.
I'd like to start paying down on debt too, Bob. It's been a really hectic time ever since we got in here.
No, I
It's
understand.
it's definitely in our best interest that we start, really tightening things up. And we're going to.
Okay. That's what I'm asking, okay?
So we'll, I guess on record right now, we will add it to the agenda for next meeting.
Okay.
We'll do our homework. We'll find out how much we owe, where the money's gonna come from, if we can do all of it, if we can do some
Or
of
forwarded
it.
it anyway.
We're gonna come back with answers for sure.
Thank you.
My name is Jeff. I own a general company that operates in Mediterranean County. I also lease several apartment units right here in Tioga, and myself and other independent contractors that works for me as well. I'm asking the city to amend the city ordinance 8.03 to allow trucks to be able to park on the east side along the truck route on Elm Street. I can't speak for others, but I know this is basically gonna make it a bit easier for me and my guys when it comes to have access to the truck, especially when the winter. And
We talked the same street, we just talked about adding no parking signs.
there are already some no parking signs there.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Coincidentally, his trucks was one of the ones I ticketed today. So, yeah, you know, when we went ahead and put up the no truck parking signs, there was some that were also added. There was some added over by the mailboxes. So technically right now, there's supposed to be truck parking permitted on Elm Street Northeast between Second and Fourth. However, there's a few areas, well, a majority of the areas on that stretch that truck parking really is not permissible because either you have a mailbox there, you have storage entrances there, and you have come and go entrances that are pretty short distance between you two, where if you were to park a truck there, it would create a port blind spot and a traffic hazard. So really, that only eliminates semi-truck parking to the east side of Elm Street Northeast, which is basically along that boulevard between Elm Street and the Black Gold Suites there. And it does get pretty busy there. In terms of parking along just the east side of Elm Street Northeast between Fourth and Sixth, I see could be, after trying what we're trying now and regulating that, it would likely be a little bit more beneficial. Not only for these folks that reside along that, but also for the truckers that come into town that wish to get groceries from foods. Because in essence, right now, what we're expecting of them is to park basically at that Black Gold Suites there and walking all the way to Cashwise. And while that's okay right now, it might not be very feasible for them when it's -30 degrees out. So You know, he brought these concerns to me, and of course, I asked Jeff to come and speak on his own behalf as a resident. As, you know, it would be his concern. I do validate that. I don't feel that parking should be on both sides of Elm Street between Fourth and Sixth, because it does cause a fairly significant bottleneck in that area, but I feel if you do park on one side, that'd be feasible. Is there enough room for all those trucks to get parked on one side of the road? Yeah, so I would think so, as it sits right now. I mean, obviously it changes as people come in and out, you know, but currently right now, is there enough room for all the trucks to park on one side? If you were to open up that east side of Elm Street between Fourth and Sixth, you're asking? Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, at most, you're able to fit maybe 4 trucks along that boulevard where Black Gold Sweets is. And it does fill up at certain times of the day. And so today, for example, there was 3 trucks there, and his truck was the only truck between Fourth and Sixth on the east side. So I feel as though at current time, there'd be enough room to accommodate that, but at the same time, you know, maybe keeping a careful eye on that in the future, so it doesn't grow into an issue would be appropriate as well. Maybe addressing that at that point if it does, but for the time being, I think my opinion is it would be okay. Or it would be able to accommodate that as.
I myself, currently, like you mentioned, the section where we have right now where trucks are allowed. If I factor just pretty much trucks that are underneath, it's not really enough, just to accommodate anyone that is, basically on those apartment that's right there. Go. And to go even further, the other apartment building that's behind the cash wise. And, you know, when it comes to winter, you know, sometimes some of these guys, you know, have to leave in the middle of the night, to start their shift. And, you know, -20, -30 degrees, it poses a challenge for them. If they come from that apartment behind, cash wise, walk in easily, about half a mile from the block. And, you know, we'll do what we can get, you know, if we get the east side, and of course, not blocking anyone's entrance, of course, not blocking, you know, the driveway from the storage unit, you know, we really take that, you know, if we can get that. And I believe if we just focus on that one side, it should be okay, you know, no traffic, you know, no way the street is wide.
So you do think there's enough then if we allow parking on the east side?
I accommodate a lot
Or
more.
at least accommodate mostly everybody? I mean, unfortunately, not everybody's gonna
Exactly.
come out and win on this deal, because there's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I do speaking, yeah, I think one of the issue that I guess we were having is because we didn't have enough parking, that's probably why these folks are, you know, I guess we're parking blocking, you know, the entrance of the storage units and then the mailbox, so to speak, but sometimes you can have it all, sometimes you can have half of it, and get what you can get. So, you know, if we have to stay at least the east side, and, you know, I guess the winter, there might be some type of solution that comes next year, that's possible, that's possible.
I think that's the tough part, is getting through winter. You know, we've got city people that have to clean that street. What if somebody slides into one of those trucks in the winter time? Then what?
We've had them parked there last winter and we didn't have any issues or whatsoever with anyone at all. As I mentioned, the street's pretty wide itself, so when we occupy that one side, as a matter of fact, last year or last winter, we had truck parking on both sides. We might have found an issue or whatsoever. I think, if we have it on one side now, it's still ample space, for traffic to go both ways while we still have a line of trucks. About that whole side pretty much.
I take it that most of your drivers don't have a car, they just have the truck.
Yes, correct, because, we mostly work the whole field, so I have these guys, come from out of state. Myself, I live here, but I also, have, home in a different state, but I spend most of my time here. I reside in, I'm basically resident here, I am. So, yeah, these guys, they don't have, vehicles to move around.
That's the kicker. I mean, the town's just really not laid out that great for this sort of thing, But.
I've also noticed in my going driving around about, there's been a lot of maintenance on those trucks on the side of the road, and a lot of oil spills, type fluid spills on the pavement. I don't know if that has been addressed or considered, if there's an ordinance in place, or I think there is an ordinance where it says something about depositing fluids on the streets is not proper, but it's buried deep in somewhere. It's something that's not probably put out there, but I guess I would want you to consider, maybe considering that. Because sometimes a guy's laying under there and I drive by and their legs are sticking out. I don't want to do a bump, 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 bump like that.
I get that. The problem is, where are they gonna do their maintenance? Gotta get that.
They got Pinnacle over there. So I don't,
Well,
I think we need to consider that.
That's, I get what you're saying. I mean, he's asking to let them park their trucks there. Some of them, if they're doing maintenance, they're trying to run their business off of the street.
Yeah,
That can't be, that won't happen.
And if I may address that, I mean, I can't speak for others, and I also know the police department has basically interacted with some of the people who does do that maintenance there and tell them not to do it. And again, I can't speak for others, but I don't see why not basically being able to park there and just, restricted from not doing maintenance. I'm not asking to do maintenance on that side. I don't do it myself. And specifically my guys, I've told them not to do it. And because I've had the interaction, with, some of the officers, and they basically said they would prefer to not get done, I said, of course. So I'm not asking for, that side, I'm just asking for the parking. So if, Chief Nelson wants to recite everyone that does maintenance, I have no objection to that.
I think it just depends on the situation, right? Because if the guy is in a situation where he has to do some maintenance in order to even get it somewhere, you have to do that. It's kind of just up to the situation, I guess,
But
but
that person would be responsible to make sure that you don't, do any spill, and if you do, then you cover the set. If not, then again, yes, I put the recovery.
I think that we maybe let them park on the east side of the highway, provided that they're parking there, not doing a bunch of miscellaneous things. And, we'll just keep the west side closed off like normal. Does that sound okay for now?
Yeah, so there's gonna be a procedure involved with this, because in essence, we're changing, what would be considered city law, right? It's gonna be an ordinance, so, what I can do is I can draft up, the revisions to that ordinance to reflect that. And then forward that to Liz, and Liz would then have to do a first reading, and then, I think there's supposed to be some public input, and then a second reading, and then that's when you can vote to put it into place, so. If that's the route you guys wish to take, we can certainly go that route. I just wanted that decision to be up to you guys as the board, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that, have ultimate say over those ordinances.
Yeah, he's requesting an amendment to, I'm sorry, Jeff, I promise I'm just written down 8.0303, which is the city ordinance, and there is an amendment procedure. I'm fine with Josh drafting it. You guys know the streets better than I do. I don't care. That's fine. You can do it.
Sure.
But he's right. It requires 2 readings, and then after the 2 readings, it becomes effective. That doesn't really help you totally, Jeff, because you're waiting 2 cycles of 2
Yeah.
meetings. You know, you can tell Josh to be gentle because the commission seems
Well,
okay with parking there, but
this particular ordinance has been changed once before already.
Yeah.
2018, it said the parking of trucks within the city right of way on any street designated as part of the city truck route is prohibited. 2024, it changes to the parking of trucks within the city right of way on any streets designated as part of the city truck route is prohibited. Exceptions: northeast Elm Street, north of Second Street, northeast of Fourth Street, northeast or as posted.
Yeah, so the outlines of those streets, I'm not sure where that portion of the revision came from. I know where I did a revision was previously it was a infraction for a truck to be off truck route. For us to properly cite an infraction, we would have to wait for the driver of a truck to actually return to the truck to cite them in the municipal court and have them sign a promise to appear promise to appear on the court copy of the citation. To alleviate some of that process on our end, we simply changed it from an infraction to $150 fine, so we can either cut the parking citation and leave it on the windshield or cite the driver, whichever we have at the time, because we didn't want to wait, an hour and a half for them to come out of Anytime Fitness from their workout, into the community center to be able to handle that business.
well, so can you read that last one again, Brett? What's on record from 2020? I know that's everybody.
This one's from 6/3/24. The parking of trucks within the city right of way on any street designated as part of the city truck route is prohibited. Exceptions: northeast Elm Street, north of Second Street, northeast of Fourth Street, northeast or as posted.
Or as posted. So you may have an exception there if you're trying to find a temporary fix and to observe it, right? If you post it as exception,
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
you could probably do that without need of the ordinance, but they can unpost it, Jeff, when they wish. Just as quickly, which is maybe the better option than revising the whole darn ordinance, while you're trying to figure out what the best option is.
Yeah, so a simple fix to that would just be simply revamping the signs along that section of roadway north of Fourth on the east side of Elm Street to say truck parking. The appropriate action then at that point.
And then you can untruck park it if you don't like the way that's working out later without amendment to the ordinance.
I mean, it's up to you guys, but I think I see it the opposite. And that's fine. We're not always gonna agree on everything, but there's a big difference between parking somewhere, like you're running through town, you need to stay at a hotel, you park at the hotel, and then staying there full time because you work here. Now you're essentially running your business off of a street in Tioga that we spent a lot of money to pay. I don't love it. I would venture to think that if I moved to a different area and I was contracted to drive a truck, I would buy a lot and park my truck at that lot and commute back and forth to where I was staying if it was in town. If it's out of town, fair game. That's my opinion.
I kind of agree, but, they're kind of a big part of the community as well. I mean, that's the only thing, that's the only hang up on me for it. I mean, it would be really ideal if they would just stay in their trucks and park at Pinnacle, but I understand if they have the option to stay in a hotel or a truck sleeper, they're gonna choose the hotel every time.
So the only reason they're parking their trucks there is because they're staying in the apartments right next door.
Yes, sir. Pretty much, no one's gonna park there and it's stay inside the truck. So, again, a lot of those guys, we run around the surrounding, counties, so, and, we choose Tioga, because of the convenience of it between, where it's located, so, and I feel like, as previously mentioned, we're a big part of this community, and we respect it. I want to respect it, and I understand, the gentleman earlier, who mentioned, the whole situation of drivers again might be doing, some services again, like I mentioned, we're not looking to do business on this, on this side of the street. We're just looking to be able to have that access to park there. And, as Gary mentioned, if a truck happens to park there and it won't start up and it maintenance is needed, there's always ways around that to where, we can contact, the police department, and say, hey, we have this issue, where we might need to get this truck crank up, so we need to have it there, and then they'll get some information, and then, do that, do drive by to see if there's any spillage, anything like that, and, we work well with them, because sometimes, like, for example, we may need to go to a truck wash and spoke them down kind of tractors and trailers. And where, they ask us, hey, if you want to drop the trailer for 30 minutes or 15 minutes, just let us know so we know what's happening. So we're working with the community, we're not asking a lot, and we understand the concern and stuff like that. But I guess the main thing I want to make is that we're not looking to do business on the side of the street. We're just looking to have, that access to park. So then, we can walk into our residents and get it the next day.
So are they staying at are most of these guys staying at the hotel or at the apartment then? Cause I mean, to me, there is a difference.
For my guys, it's, the apartment. So you have the one that's, right there by the common road, and you have the one that's behind the cash lights, and a lot of other guys also stay at the hotel. So it's not just me, so you have different companies, you have different guys,
I guess where I'm going with this is, I mean, if you're only have your truck and you don't have a residence here, and you're gonna be working in Ross tomorrow and you wanna stay in Tioga, I totally get going to the motel. If somebody lives here permanently, I wonder why they don't have a vehicle, because then they could just go park their truck at Pinnacle. But I'm guessing that your deal is probably something like company housing.
Yes, I mean, the main reason why, again, a lot of these guys don't have a vehicle is because they work 7 days, 14 hours, so they run and they come home and basically sleep and get going again. So, and myself, I have a vehicle. But for example, let's say, if I have this new contract that's going, and then I have 8 or 10 guys, so I sometimes able to help, help a couple of them, but I'm not able to, especially if I'm traveling, I'm not able to accommodate everyone, with that vehicle, to basically say, hey, you work at the Pinnacle, I'll come pick you up, and so on and so forth. So it's not feasible, so I know it may seem unorthodox, but, a lot of times you'll have truck drivers that live somewhere that drives their semi, but there's no need for a vehicle, and again, but even when we should be started, you have the convenience here, you have the cash lights, you have the distance, you have the common road where we fuel,
It's convenient, but it's not free. Like most trucking outfits have establishments to park their trucks at night, so they're not on our city streets. Like what Jaden's trying to say is this isn't a temporary thing, this is full-time. You have people living in an apartment, parking their truck on the street, so they don't have to pay for a place to rent as far as truck parking. You understand what I'm saying? I know it's super convenient, but it's also super free. And that's not the way it works.
I mean, it's a tricky situation, but I think, I don't know, we might have to change the ordinance then, because I think they should maybe be able to park on the east side, and we'll see how that goes. I mean,
of changing the ordinance right now, we just trying to sign it, right?
Well, maybe if you monitor and Jaden and Brett both, I mean, I think you both are expressing different sides of the same coin. If you keep an eye on what happens after you repost, maybe you need to put time parameters, maybe there are 100 ways to curb and meet with all the concerns. I don't know, might be impossible, but saying. If you're entertaining it, watch and see what happens as you entertain it, and then maybe you figure out what the actual issue is.
It's a tricky deal because I wanna help these people that are working in our community, but at the same time, it just can't be a free for all either. It's just, that's the problem.
Yeah, so this all started on both sides of the street, right? We had trucks up and down. I'm not saying they were all yours, but there was other trucks there.
Yes,
all along the park
yes.
area. So the park board started putting cones on the west side of the street. Well, then those cones started getting tossed into the grass, into the park board so that they could park their trucks there. So what I'm saying is this can get out of control really, really quick by being kind and generous to people. It gets taken advantage of so quick because there are no rules. So it's really up to you guys.
Yeah, I understand completely, but also I'd like to indicate, like, we're not all the same. I mean, unfortunately, I can't come and speak on behalf of everyone. I can only speak on behalf of, myself, and which is what I said, if something is being done, it's not supposed to, so, I support, citation or anything that needs to be done. Of course, those additional ordinance.
I think we're at a stalemate, but kind of.
Yeah, my only suggestion would be is the exits from the hotel, the storage units, the car wash. The trucks have to be back so far, because when you're trying to leave, if they're right on the exit there, you cannot see around them. I mean, and there's been many times where there's been close accident calls, kids riding their bikes, things like that. So that's something we also have to have an offset of them parking in front and back, just so people can get out safely.
We're probably gonna have to change ordinance if we're gonna get that technical with it. But
What do you want to do, Josh? I'll put you on the spot. Do you want to police that? I don't. I mean, I will, but I overextend myself the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, I see both sides of the coin, really. I wanted to make a case for both, and he had these concerns for me, and I thought, well, I'm gonna introduce you to the proper platform, and here we are. So, it's really, I'm neutral on it. It's whatever you guys want to see happen there, really. So, I mean, can it be accommodated? Yeah, it looks like it could be accommodated. Do I personally, on a personal side, feel that maybe there should be an area, where some of these folks can go to, maybe get groceries? Yeah, I do feel for them on that too. That's where they have my sympathy, but at the same time, I don't want the east side of Elm Street looking like Flying J either, so I understand that component of it as well. So, it's entirely you guys' call.
We just have signs on the west side right now.
So they're on both sides. There's one, I think it's just to the north of the car wash entrance for the east side. So that one sign would, if you were to change, at least the east side, we would change that sign over to say truck parking. Could probably add a second one just down the way from that to make that a clearly established area, but we're already enforcing that or I am anyway, enforcing that as it is, so. In terms of how far back to park from an intersecting street, there's already statute on that as well, so I believe that's like 15 feet, if I remember correctly, so. It's just a matter of enforcing that as well, so.
Well, it's 15 feet automatically, but certainly if I owned an insurance policy on a semi truck and I thought I was creating a liability, even if I had to park more than 15 feet, I would probably do that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just, looking at the map, there's just nowhere to park unless you're north of the car wash without jamming up that road.
Yeah, it is very limited.
And there's only, how many trucks could you fit there till you get to the 4, maybe?
Well, yeah,
If that,
yeah, and that's what I was seeing about, if they all park properly, otherwise it's gonna be 3, so. That's where I kind of stood in the middle of Elm Street to kind of scratch my head trying to figure out how we got to that point where it was okay from here to here, but it only is really encompassing one sliver of area.
yeah, cause I mean,
There's no trucks on that picture either. You can't even gauge how much space they would take up.
no, but I mean, just over by the storage units especially, I mean, if they need to park 15 feet away, they won't even be able to park there, period. So that leaves right in front of the hotel, maybe 2 trucks, maybe could park
They had,
in the middle of there.
they had 3 there
Two.
today.
2 or 3.
It stands right now is, 3 to 4 trucks can park there and, based on what I'm asking, we'll open up this side. It wouldn't, the additional space wouldn't start until after the car wash. So that would give us another 3 or 4 trucks. So as it stands right now, that, again, there's a space district, so once we pass the driveways or entrance for the storage, and we pass the car wash, and once we cross over that driveway, the entrance, for the car wash, and then that strip along, potentially, we could create, 3 to 4 trucks there without having, or causing any issues.
Here's a concern that you could entertain too, or an idea. Last winter, because these guys do have to leave their trucks idling typically throughout the night, so they're not gelling up or creating a no start issue, right? I did receive one noise complaint from an apartment, his apartment building specifically, the ones just north of Come and Go there, of the truck idling. Unfortunately, there wasn't much I was able to do of that because the truck wasn't legally parked. So maybe simply reversing where these semis can park and limit saying, hey, between 2nd Street North and 4th, that's gonna be a no parking area for trucks simply because we don't want idling trucks to cause a noise nuisance to residents or folks in the hotel, but we'll allow trucks to park on the east side of Elm Street North, along the east side only, because we don't want to create a traffic hazard or a bottleneck, or, you certainly don't want to maybe butt up against the park there, but I think the further away you can have these trucks from those buildings, probably the better.
See, I like that a lot more, and that could be a very good temporary solution for you, but it has to be a temporary solution. You can't, you need space for 6 trucks. That's a truck lot somewhere else where they can commute into town. This can't be a permanent thing for you. If you have 6 trucks over there, that means that's only for you, right? That means if somebody does come in and want to stay at the hotel, they have nowhere to park. And they would be here temporarily. Like I said, this can't be a permanent thing for you.
And also, with my company, so basically, I may have 6 or 8 trucks in rotation, but those trucks will park there, and even though those guys live there, they'll park there and they come home, or if they work in that area. So if they work in, a different area, for example, then sometimes we have that access to, to park at the plant or leave the truck at that section, and you can go home, for a couple weeks, or if there's downtime, or, if there's no activity going. Sometimes we have, work where they're working on, 7, 8, 9 days rotation, and then they have 4 or 5 days off, and sometimes that truck stays somewhere else. So there have been times where, I have 2 or 4 trucks coming in, and then the area is full because of where people park, and, we just have to find, an alternative, during this time. So basically, I guess what I'm saying, it goes both ways. So sometimes we're the unlucky one that comes in, puts that in the spot. And most of the, truckers usually that comes to that is, that even though it's not temporary, so, they do come and go, but, it's mostly us that work that area.
Oh, well, I think we're working on finding a temporary solution for you.
Do you guys wanna just investigate that and draw and offer signage at the next meeting, maybe so you can inform the public?
Yeah, we gotta move on from this one. Hey, you can come back next meeting? We should hopefully have something for you, something temporarily definitive.
I may not be able to review in person, but I know you guys have a Skype,
Yeah.
option, so yeah, I may have to do that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, keep going. I get a motion to adjourn. I will move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, with the motion and the second to adjourn, we'll move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
We are adjourned at 8:07 PM.
Steve, I'm still.